This video will take you through the second page of the practice test for Math 130, test number 2. We're going to continue on with some conversions. We're going to look at converting 8 foot, 6 7/8 of an inch into decimal feet, and we'll round our final answer to the nearest hundredth. So right now we have mixed units, feet and inches. Decimal feet means we want our final answer to all be in feet, so whole feet, and the portion of the foot will be in decimal form, and our only unit will be feet. So right away I can see from 8 foot, 6 7/8 of an inch that I have 8 whole feet. So I can just put that to the left of my decimal. What I need to do is convert 6 7/8 of an inch into decimal feet. So we're doing a unit conversion here from inches to feet. I start with 6 7/8 of an inch. You could work here from fraction form. If you prefer, you could convert to decimal form for the 7/8 by doing 7 divided by 8. And getting 6.875 inches. Either way, you're going to now convert from inches to feet using your conversion fraction. We want to cancel out inches, it goes on the bottom, feet goes on top. We know 1 foot has 12 inches, so we can do 6.875 divided by 12. And we get 0.572916. And this is now feet. So this is our decimal portion of the foot. To the nearest hundredth means we're rounding to 2 decimal places. So 1, 2. I look to the right, it's a 2, so I don't need to round up. So we have 8.57 feet. So that decimal portion goes here. Next, we'll look at going the other way, taking decimal feet and reporting in feet, inches, and fractions of an inch, and we're going to take our fraction of an inch to the nearest eighth of an inch. So our final answer will be how many whole feet, how many whole inches, and our fraction of an inch. Again, we already know how many whole feet we have, 12 whole feet. We want to take that decimal portion, 0.2687 feet, and convert to inches. So we use our unit conversion, 12 inches in 1 foot. We can go over to our calculator for that. And we get 3.2244 inches. So that means I have 3 whole inches. And I want to convert this portion of an inch, 0.2244 inches, into a fraction instead of decimal form. The way to do this is to multiply by the denominator of the fraction I want, so I multiply that by 8. On my calculator, I still have my answer from the previous question. I'm going to take away the whole number of inches, so minus 3, and I'm left with that decimal portion. By doing this, I haven't rounded in between, and then I can multiply by 8. And I get 1.7952. This is the number I'm going to use for the numerator of my fraction, so I round to the nearest whole number, which would be 2. So my fraction would be 2/8, which I can reduce to 1/4. So even though we were asked for the nearest eighth of an inch, if we can reduce the fraction we calculate, we do. So I have 12 foot, 3 1/4 of an inch. In our next question, we have a hexagonal nut that has a side length of 5/16 of an inch, and we want to know the distance across the flats. So from flat side to flat side of the hexagon, on your formula sheet, that dimension has the variable f. After we figure that out, we'll figure out the smallest wrench to the nearest 32nd of an inch that would fit. So on your formula sheet, you have f, the distance across the flats, is 1.732 times a, where a is the side length, which in this case is 5/16 of an inch. So I can sub that in. And then I can calculate. So I'm doing 1.732 times 5/16. So I multiply by the numerator 5 and divide by the denominator 16. So I get 0.54125. And since my side length was in inches, f, the distance across the flat, is in inches as well. So F is 0.54125 inches. So I want to know what wrench I need to go from flat to flat to the nearest 32nd of an inch. I'm in decimal inches right now. To convert to a fraction, just like above, I multiply by the denominator that I want. So I'm going to multiply that answer by 32. And I get 17.32. That would be my numerator. Normally we round to the nearest whole number, but if I consider this as my fraction, 17.32 32nds of an inch, if I round down to 17, then my wrench wouldn't be quite big enough. So I'm going to round up to 18 over 32, which reduces. So my wrench size is 9/16 of an inch. In our final question, we'll find the perimeter in feet and inches of a rectangular swimming pool that is 53 foot 6 inches long and 43 foot 8 inches wide. So if I want to sketch it out, my length is 53 foot 6 inches and my width is 43 foot 8 inches. I want to find the perimeter of a rectangle, which means I take twice the length plus twice the width. I have a couple options here. I could convert all to one unit, for example, converting 43 foot 8 inches all to inches. I can work in mixed units if I remember that I can add feet together and I can add inches together separately. So I could do it this way. 2 times my length is 53 feet 6 inches plus 2 times my width, which is 43 feet 8 inches. If I multiply each of those by 2 times 53 is 106 feet. 2 times 6 inches is 12 inches. Plus 2 times the 43 feet is 86 feet. 2 times the 8 inches is 16 inches. Now I know there are 12 inches in a foot, so 106 feet 12 inches is 107 feet, plus 86 feet 16 inches would be 87 feet and 4 inches. Now I can keep adding those together, and I get a perimeter of 194 feet and 4 inches. So there are a number of ways to solve this problem. Like I said, you could have converted all the inches first and done your addition and then convert it back to feet and inches. As long as you're showing your work and remembering that you can only add values that have the same unit together, then you should get to the same place of a perimeter of 194 feet and 4 inches. The next couple of videos will take you through the rest of the practice test.